Well, here I am back in the shop. It's been a long time since I run a video, and I figured I'm about overdue. I've been working very hard on my 57 Chevy and a few other projects around here. This is a little bit different spot than what I usually shoot an intro in. I wanted to show off what I have done recently. A buddy of mine who is an older gentleman, he's downsizing. He had this cabinet in his shop full of hardware and drills. I mean, it was chock full. He's downsizing. He's not long for the chains of this world, I guess is what you'd say. He's getting around, but he's having a tough time, and he knows that his time is getting short. He gave me a real good deal on this. So good, in fact, that I couldn't resist. There was no point in arguing. I took the cabinet and we loaded it up and brought it home. I'd always wanted a cabinet about this height, about this depth, full of drawers, because I have two shallower ones that are 30 inches wide each. And so my plan is to put those two shallower ones on top, because this one wasn't wide enough to do that. To get me out to the 60 inches, I built this second cabinet out of scraps and leftovers I had on hand. This is all wood. Built the whole thing, and the drawers slide very nicely. Darn handles cost more than I have in the rest of the cabinet, which is goofy considering I bought the cheapest plain steel zinc plated handles they sold at Home Depot. But you know, what are you going to do? Anyway, the plan is that the other half of this is going to get painted the orange to match, and then the two top sections are going to get painted orange as well. So I'll have all my bolt storage in one place. The small drawers, I'm going to reposition them further down the wall so that they're out of the way, and then we will have all my small fasteners and clips and my larger bolts and hardware kits and everything's all going to be really well sorted out. I want to show you what I've been doing on my 57 Chevy. I don't think I've ever shown it on the channel before, and I'm very proud of what's happened so far, so I'm going to show you that here real quick. Okay, this is my 57 Chevy four-door station wagon. This is my long-term project. As you can see, I finally got this thing all painted. I painted it in base coat, clear coat paint. It is all sanded and polished. I hope it shows up in the video. You can see the reflection of the lights and the filters in the ceiling of my spray booth real well in there, and I'm really pleased with how the paint came out. It isn't perfect, but it is good enough for who it's for. And you can see everything under the hood is pretty well done. It's got a little bit more cleaning up to do. It's been sitting for a while. The motor's pretty dusty, but I checked it recently and it still turns over easily by hand. Okay, we'll take a look at the inside of the car. You guys can see now that I've painted the insides of the doors, and I wrapped the two-tone all the way around, which is considered custom. And I've covered the entire floor in X-Mat sound deadening from Eastwood. And I want you to know I am not sponsored, though I would not be opposed to being that. The ceiling is covered in X-Mat. Again, I'm not sponsored, but I'd like to be. And I've also done the insides of the doors. So it is a very solid sounding car. It's going to almost be like a new car when it's going down the road. Well, this is the second day for this video. Yesterday, I thought for sure I had a fully charged battery. As soon as I got started, I got a couple clips shot and the battery light started flashing. So I took and I swapped batteries, and the other battery wasn't charged either. So I had to leave one on the charger overnight, and now we've got a fresh battery. So anyway, I didn't stop working, I kept pushing on. And yesterday, I took and I got busy and I put latches together for my two passenger side doors. I got the latches and the handles and the door lock pulls all working. And this morning I came over and I took apart the original locks that I had for the car, and I made them work with my new ignition key. When I got the car, I got no keys with this. I also got no paperwork with this. Maybe someday I'll tell you guys how to go about getting paperwork on a car that comes with none. But anyway, I took the locks apart and modified them so that they work with my key. And let me see here, I can demonstrate. Here's a classic Chevrolet blank key, and I can lock it from the outside, and I can unlock it from the outside, and it works really nicely. That door closes good. With all the sound deadening in the door, it sounds super solid. I have to say, again, not sponsored by Eastwood, but X-Mat is an excellent product. This is the second car that I've used X-Mat products on, Eastwood sound deadening products on, and I'm really thrilled with it. I'm not sure it was called X-Mat the first time I used it, but it was Eastwood brand that I put into my daughter's Volkswagen Beetle. And other than the fact that it sounds like a Volkswagen, it is the most solid Volkswagen Beetle I've ever had the opportunity to monkey with. So I got to tell you, it's a little bit cheaper than the other name brands out there, and I think it works just as well. Well, I wanted to show off some of the detail work that I put into this car. When I went to put in my strikers and my latches, I took everything apart here and I cleaned it really good and painted it with Illuma Blast silver paint that I got at TP Tool over in Canfield, Ohio. They have a mail order business and they have a store with a showroom, and it's close to me, and they specialize in auto restoration products. So I really like that Illuma Blast. It's a silver paint, but it doesn't scream silver, and even with the silver on the top, it's not the same silver. It's a flat silver. It has no metallic to it. I really like the way it looks. So it looks really good on those door parts, and even like this handle here inside the door. This mechanism will never get seen again, but I don't know. I just feel a little bit better trying to clean up things and make them look nice, even though I'm going to put a door panel over this. It's the anal retentive side of me that won't just let that be and put it together that way. So let's see, these are not stock 57 Chevy door handles. I think these are like from 61, 62 Impala. I bought these reproduction on the internet, and they look really sharp. All stainless steel fasteners everywhere with polished heads everywhere that's going to show, including the post striker in here, which was kind of tough to do because it's got kind of an odd head. I'm going to do a separate video on how to make up your own custom screws for that, because nobody makes them. You can buy exact reproductions of the original, which are zinc plated carbon steel, and they look fine if you're restoring the car. But I've got so much stainless steel hardware on this, I felt that if I put zinc plated fasteners in there on that striker, it would look like I gave up. And I don't want it to look like I gave up. I fought hard on this car for a long time. In August of this year, it'll be 20 years I've owned this car. So one thing you can say about me, I am no quitter. But it's starting to shape up really nice, and I think that's going to do it for this video. I'm going to put this together and post it later on this evening, and then I'm also going to post a short video on how to modify common hardware that you can buy and make it work for the door strikers. So I hope that you'll check back in with me on that. Guys, take care. Thanks for watching. See you around.